Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Bum bum ba da dun dun da da dun dun da da dun dun. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Winter is Blooming. This is our Game of Thrones rewatch podcast here on the Penny Bloom Podcast, and we are starting another season, Season 3, Episode 1 today, Valar, Dohaeris. I am Colton Robertson, and I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, and we're starting Season 3? We're on
a roll,
what?
Man.
This is nuts.
Part of the reason that I've been we debated taking like a week break in between season 2 and 3. We were thinking about it in case we just couldn't get around to it. We are, which is cool. Good. We're all set. So we're not going to miss a week. But part of the thing I didn't want to break was a streak that we're on for covering a television episode on Monday. We've been doing
how long does that go back? Holy crap.
Westworld season 4.
Westworld? What's the lineage there? What is it? What is it?
For House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones.
And constant. And then we hope that there is something at the end of this Game of Thrones watch. Or we'll find something to fill in the gap regardless if there's nothing new. Right. But we need to keep that going every Monday.
It's an impressive streak that we're on right now. Same thing with Friday for movies. Like every Monday and every Friday. Well, Friday goes back even further for movies.
Dang, that's true. 52. Is that on Friday?
The first Friday of 2022 to every Friday through now, we've had a episode covering a movie. So we're TV on Mondays, movies on Fridays, Star Wars and Marvel on Wednesdays, and we're living it up. So we're doing good. But we are kicking off season 3, Valar Dohaeris, written by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, directed by Daniel Minahan. Interestingly enough, season 3, episode 1 premiered on March 31st, 2013. So 3/3/1/1/3.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This was 10 years ago?
Yeah. Season 3 was 10 years ago. It was a decade ago.
Oh my god. 10 years and 10 days, basically. Like 10 years, or what's today? Oh, the 17th.
St. Patty's.
Okay. Yeah, hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and I'm actually wearing green. I didn't even mean for that to happen. This is green. This is a green hoodie. It doesn't look green on camera, maybe, but it is green.
Yeah, all right, cool.
But
I also thought it was interesting that season 3, episode 1 would have aired on 3/3/1/1/3. Kind of an insane little coinkydink they had going on there.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Too many stars are aligning.
So many. Oh, so many. But we touched on a lot of places here. This is a good episode.
Yeah, we do. I think our suspicions, at the end of last season, I think I was like, well, season 3, they should know what they're doing right off the start. It should be hitting the ground running, and we're in full Thrones effect. And I think we're in full Thrones effect.
We are there, man. Yeah. We are officially, I know we keep getting to a point where we're like, wow, now we're really in it. But it just keeps going that way, it just keeps getting further and further.
And that's, they do go above this limit, that the bar is set here right now, and they do go above it. There are episodes like Battle of the Bastards, or, certain events that happen that are like, oh my god, nah, that's insane. But it's just, they're the level of consistency has now reached, it's this is,
we're there.
I don't know, where I guess that's more of the
back half of season 2, pretty much all the way till the end of season 5. I think that's the most consistent this show has ever been.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It is just a constant story, massive story for 4 seasons
And we get some huge introductions this week and characters that end up being like ride or dies for our main cast for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And Sande for Daenerys, you got Tormund for Jon, you got Qyburn for Cersei, who actually starts with the Northern Army, which is interesting.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Man, yeah, people that last quite a while. Yeah.
At least till season 8, Tormund is the only one that lives all the way through.
Man, it's so crazy to think about. Just all these people that die.
Yeah.
But
it's like the beginning of the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That fucking that montage where they're going through like the credit sequences. The song they play. Those are people who died. Those are people who died. That's
I didn't know that was the credit song.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's what it reminds me of every time I'm watching this. I'm like, well, all of these people are dead, which is kind of crazy. There's only a few that make it out, but.
Where are we starting? I guess
we start beyond the wall. We're starting north because that's where this episode kicks off. Immediately following the end of season 2, which ended with the 3 horns blowing and Sam seeing the White Walkers up close and personal, their full force. Not their full force, but what he would probably assume has got to be quite a chunk of it. We hear shouts and swords clashing while we're in all darkness. It's a black screen. You hear screams and the like, and all this happens off screen, and then we open on this just like kind of beautiful time lapse of like it starts bright and like the sun, or like it starts dark and the sun rises, and then it gets all engulfed in snow. It just starts getting like gray and white to indicate like the White Walkers came through, and this is kind of this is what happens. You don't see shit when the White Walkers come through. It's a storm. And we see Samwell Tarly trying to run away through a blizzard in search of safety, and he sees another man of the Night's Watch up ahead, but soon finds that this man's decapitated and his head is placed in his own hands.
What is up, dude? What's up with the White Walkers?
It's like, so funny.
Are they just this menace? Like, they're just straight up menaces? All of them. They're like,
it's so fucking funny to think about, like the lead, because it had to be the lead White. The Whites are so fucking stupid and brainless.
Yeah, they're just like zombies, basically.
Like to think about the guy, the leader, who like screamed in Sam's face, like cutting off this dude's head, and then being like, "All right, let's go ahead and prop him up."
He knows. He's like, "All right, I'm going to leave this dude alive. We're going to run through and kill everyone in our path. And I'm going to leave one of his brothers with his head cut off in his path that he will run." Like this was like, I think like the point of it all. Like he's like, to the guy who will go back and actually tell the tale. Like I think, I don't know. They do have some consciousness to them. They don't just let Sam go, or they don't do these sort of things if they don't want, their presence to be known.
The actual White Walkers themselves.
Yeah.
They've got goals. They've got something going on where they have an end game. They have an idea.
I think like this whole time, even after finishing the show, I've always thought of them as just like the pure evil of the show, just for no reason. They're just evil just as for evil's sake, it's like we need a bad guy for the show. But I think that's like, we only see it that way because we've only seen them kill, I guess. We've only seen them win, and it's been in a dark way, and the winter is coming. It's always been seen as a bad way, but that's just because I don't know, the people in Westeros want to keep their lives, Right. They want to keep their homes. So maybe I don't know, the White Walkers are very misunderstood. Maybe they have like a whole civilization going that we have no idea about.
Dude, I remember the era of speculation between season 7 and 8 was just such a special time to be a fan of Game of Thrones. Because I remember just like all the fucking like, who's gonna end up on the throne and what the fuck is the White Walkers deal? What are they? What are they? Who are they? And I remember, everyone being sorely disappointed whenever it was just, they were just trying to kill everybody. That's all. There's nothing that we're gonna explore further with that. And frankly, I don't think there needs to be more than that. You know, like I don't think that there necessarily needs to be. If they want to explore that in a different show, fuck yeah, I'm there for it. Right now, I'm perfectly okay accepting them as just an all-encompassing evil. The long night is their goal is to build their force and take over the world. That's it. We have no other goal.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, we've seen nothing other than that before. It's just that I guess like in the books, there's a lot more to them than they're just zombies coming out to kill. They're like there's like so much more to like just the lineage of how they even started in the first place, and it was like Stark blood, and like there's a lot more connections in the books that like I'd assume George R. R. Martin just didn't tell them at the end of the show because it's way too complicated and he wants it to end in his last book sort of thing.
What's really interesting is that the book equivalent of the Night King, the Night's King or whatever the fuck, isn't even really an equivalent. Like he's just there is no so leader. Different. There is no leader of the White Walkers. It's just like that's not a thing. So like I truly think my best idea for a motive from the White Walkers is the Night King wants revenge. The children of the forest turned him into this monster. He wants to wipe out man so that can't like that doesn't happen again to anyone or to him. Like
why he's just like did they turn him into the Night King?
To take out it was in the war between the children of the forest and the first men. They were trying to I think they were trying to build a force that would help them, but it backfired. If I remember correctly, we will get that explanation expressly here in a couple seasons.
Yeah, like season 5. Okay, that's right. I guess we're jumping way far ahead, but but I don't know.
It's a worthy conversation right now because of this very action and all the spirals and the designs and like they truly are just a menacing threat. Being like, yeah, we're coming to end your life. That's
so did the Lord? Is it assumed that the Lord Commander came through, killed all those? Like, how do they make it to Sam? Or
I have the idea that I mean, like it was a battle.
Like they killed it was all of the Night's Watch. Like basically like Castle Black versus
this tiny faction of the army. Because that's what we hear at the beginning.
Yeah.
The swords clashing.
All of Castle Black out there. Like
yeah. Like that's.
Dang, I didn't think about that. I was like, maybe they just sent like their rangers out or something like that. But like they already had their rangers or some of the rangers already out. And,
in season 2, they were all already beyond the wall. They all left together.
Oh, duh. Okay, to Craster's. Oh, duh. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what am I thinking? I don't know why I thought there were still like some people chilling at Castle Black.
No, yeah, it's just
that's right.
They all left. They all left at the end of season 1, and they've been north of the wall the entirety of season 2.
Okay. Yeah. Duh. But man,
this is the battle and the series of events that leads Gior to go, well, we got to go back. Fuck all this. We know what's out there. We got to warn everybody.
I almost chose that for my line. He was like, before long, everyone will be, or before long, literally everyone will be dead. Again, it was like, I think right before the title card of the episode. So it was a badass line and they knew, Yeah, or before
warn everybody of the coming threat. Otherwise, everyone you have ever known will die. Boom, 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 boom. I remember it being like so abrupt and like kind of comedic that like they cut straight into the theme song there. But I loved Ghost coming out to save Sam, which I thought was cute. Like right. He ends up riding with the Night's Watch anyway. Like I know John let him go and like they went wandering and stuff, but Ghost is always coming back to the force of the Night's Watch, which is kind of cool. Like he just returns and he's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Guess I'll hold it down for you guys. You got a lot of shit going on.
Was Ghost there whenever John said his vows to with Sam at the Godswood? Did Ghost go with him?
Ghost did go beyond the wall, but then after they get done swearing their vows and they all like hug and they're like, yeah. Ghost comes running up with like a fucking hand in his mouth and is like, boop, yeah, some shit's going on out there, guys. It's bad out here.
I was gonna say because like maybe he took his vows too. He's just a brother of the Night's Watch as well,
right.
Through and through. And he's like, well, John, I'm sorry, I don't agree with what you're doing here. I got to go back with my brothers. I'm a sworn brother of the Night's Watch, John.
Yeah, John, I can't fuck with the wildlings right now. I got
shit
to do.
Or we got Bran, or not Bran yet. I guess the Three-Eyed Raven, knowing Sam needs to be protected in the end. He needs to be on the council at the end, so he needs to send Ghost to walk back to come and protect him so he doesn't die here, or something. I don't know. I like to connect everything, possibly.
No, it's a distinct possibility that all these sorts of things, like specifically Bran, knowing, because I don't think the Three-Eyed Raven can access the future beyond visions, but the Three-Eyed Raven, Bran, in the future can access the past. So he could be anywhere.
So he is. So even though he's not the Three-Eyed Raven yet, we could still be seeing things that he is doing.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. That's just so fucked. That's just so fucked.
I love it though. It's always fun to speculate. But all the while, Jon Snow is being led by Ygritte and the Lord of Bones, who turns out is just like a really normal looking guy when he takes off his mask, which I think is so fucking funny. They're being ushered into the main wildling camp, and it's not simply an army camp, it's all of wildling society. They're moving to escape the White Walkers, including all the women and children, and as they enter the camp, Jon is shocked to see a giant walking on past. And
boom.
You never seen a giant before, Jon Snow.
Is it actually Liam Neeson, or does it just look a little bit like him, and then people were like, all right, it's Liam Neeson, it's badass?
I do think it's not actually Liam Neeson. I think they modeled the facial structure off of Liam Neeson. I think, I don't even think that he was there to do it. Like, I think they were just like, fuck it, let's make it look like Liam Neeson,
So it's not a fan thing. It is like in the show they were like,
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I might be mistaken there. Maybe it just coincidentally.
That's how I remember it. I remember it as like they took inspiration from Liam Neeson and made him the face of the giant because they wanted a badass face. But I didn't know if that was just someone made that up.
See, I've heard that. I've just heard that for years now. I guess I don't know where the source of that came from, but regardless, yeah, I almost picked this for my scene. Just this whole introduction of Jon to the wildling camp, all the wildlings throwing shit at Jon, being like, "Crow, go back to your home, Crow. Get the fuck out of here!" And they keep pelting him with like ice and stones, and Ygritte's like, "Guys, fuck off. He's fine. All you crows want to do is be free. All you want is to be like us." And Jon is led into the tent of the King Beyond the Wall, Mance Rayder, where the Lord of Bones.
The fake out here too that they do.
Oh, love it. Well, because Tormund does have a presence. It's like undeniable. And there's also the fact that the Lord of Bones goes, "Yeah, we got you one that we thought you might like to question." And Tormund's like, "What would we have to do with a little crow?" And he was like, "He's the bastard son of Ned Stark." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. This little crow killed Corin Halfan." He's like, "Oh, did ya? He's killed men twice your size, brothers of mine. What the fuck you got going on that I don't know about?" It's like, my dad always told me it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog,
My father always told me all men fall at the same speed.
Yeah.
I don't know, all men fall down same.
Big men fall just as quick as little men, or whatever.
There you go, yeah. Like, and then, it's like, okay, Jon, yeah, you're actually like, that was badass, but then like, I don't know, it's answered right back with like, oh, well, actually, I've killed like, I don't know, I forget like what he claps back with. But it's, oh man, what was it? Like,
but regardless, Jon does like the most like kind of embarrassing shit I've ever seen in the show, where he kneels before Tormund and everyone starts laughing as he calls him Your Grace. He's like, "You hear that? Your Grace. You guys better start kneeling every time I fucking fart."
He's too honorable, Jon is, he's just
so sweet.
God, John, sometimes you're just too. You read the room. I don't know. I guess he doesn't know how it works yet. He's figuring it out. But man, yeah, that was rough. That was embarrassing to watch.
That's when Mance Raider goes, oh, okay. Okay, that's enough. Yeah,
all right, let me save the man.
You can stand up. We don't do shit like that here. We don't kneel before anyone above the wall.
Figure out if we need to kill you or not. All right, let's get this over with.
This season is the most formative on Jon Snow throughout the entire show. This entire season forms his morals. What he how he acts the rest of the show is based off of this season.
That's why the only thing I have left blank in my favorites is the character, and it's because my initial pick was Jon for this reason. But I am going with this for my favorite scene for sure. Actually, Jon and Mance, and just I guess him just beyond the wall entering, this tent.
Yeah, no, it's a great choice.
And eventually, it's just he lays out, exactly what he's very intimidated. Why do you want to join us? Sort of thing, and it's like,
I want to be free.
And they're like, okay,
I think you want to kill me and be a hero of the Night's
what's
Watch.
up? Let me get my boys to come in a little bit more. Let me let them raise their axes a bit. Let's scare you. Why the fuck you want to join us, Jon Snow? And then he's like,
saw it.
All right,
I saw what took him.
Oh, I love it doesn't earn the performance for the episode, but Kit Harington, I don't know, he did so good here.
Coming into his own.
He's like, I saw Craster leave a baby out for the White Walkers, and that was bad. I hate that. And then, but the part that really gets to him is that the fact that it was just already known before and nothing was being done about it.
The Lord Commander knew what was going on.
And right when he says that, Mance Raider was like,
that's fair. That sounds like a reason.
Dude,
and that's when Jon delivers what is my line, because my favorite line of the episode, because it is the thesis for Jon throughout the entire rest of the show.
Yes, it is.
I want to fight for the side who fights for the living. That is Jon's mission through the next 5 fucking seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was bred to be I think Mance Raider even asks him what was your position in Castle Black, and he was like, well, I was being raised to be a leader, and he's like, well, now look at you, the traitor, you're a traitor here, and he's like, and they're like, oh, okay, well, okay, let's go here, but I don't know, it's very, they're he's maybe the leadership role just wasn't the Night's Watch or right now. He is getting his leadership experience through this, with the king of the free folk, he right. And that's, I don't know, that's what I called the scene, is just Jon joining the free folk. Is that the correct way to refer to the free folk?
They call themselves the free folk.
Yeah, not the wildlings is
the southern term for that.
Yeah, okay. So the free folk, that's what I put. I don't know.
Free folk.
I love this scene. Anything with Jon. Jon is my favorite character to watch in the throughout the rewatch, just for
it's so good. It's
the
so
lineage
good.
And everything. Yeah, it's
well, and I love the actor who's playing Mance Raider. He's a great character actor. Let's see, what's his name? I can never remember it. It is Ciaran Hinds. He plays Steppenwolf in the Justice League movies.
Yo,
the guy with the ever-changing armor and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. The voice. I hear that now a little bit. I hear. Okay, because I don't really see him in Steppenwolf. I don't think he was modeled after Steppenwolf. I don't know, but I hear him now that I'm listening to him.
Yeah, you got a vibe.
Wow.
You got a vibe for sure. But
that's sick.
Yeah, it was a great scene, great introduction. I loved when Egret left the tent and Mance was like, "Oh, she likes you. You like her too, don't you? Is that why you want to join?
That's why you want to join, huh? Yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing now, Jon Snow. Yeah, but no, he's for a bigger purpose. Jon's bigger than that. But if you can,
I'll fuck Egret.
You'll partake. You'll partake.
What you did with your tongue? I don't know. I just did what felt right. But Mance is very satisfied with John's answer and is like, all right, we're gonna have to get you a new cloak though. You got to take that black shit off. But that concludes the storyline Beyond the Wall, and we take it to King's Landing after that, where Joffrey Baratheon's forces stand victorious after the Battle of Blackwater, and House Lannister's new allies, House Tyrell, begin to settle in the capital, and Tywin is, here before long. He greets Tyrion when Tyrion joins him, sits down with him. But before that, Tyrion and Cersei's conversation in his chambers, fucking fantastic scene. Any scene where Lena Headey and Peter Dinklage are acting off of each other is going to be fucking brilliant.
The fact that he's like so afraid to even let her in, he's like through the door, he's like, yo, like, what you want? Like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, if I really wanted to kill you think a wooden door would stop me? Like their back and forth is just so good.
They're too good, man. They are. And the way Tyrion, like, he's like, oh, all this time and father still hasn't come to see me, and Cersei's like, fuck off. I don't give a fuck. And again, I almost went with Lena Headey for the performance just because I think if there's anyone who has such a firm grasp on the character, like, there are very few people who have as firm a grasp on their character as Lena Headey does on Cersei. Like, she plays that with such effortless.
She's gonna dominate so many episodes later on. Like, dude, it's nuts so where she goes. Yeah, like, it's nuts that, like, she's getting so many now, but, like, knowing where her character, like, it's gonna be actually difficult to pick later on. Like, now that I think about it, like, because I don't know, maybe like one episode, hopefully a character will just dominate and it'll be easy. But like at that point, you have everyone so owning their character. Yeah, man. Like, ooh, I don't want to think about it. We're in. I don't know. It's easy right now, I guess. Not really. It's still hard, but it'll only get more difficult.
But the little conversation outside the door is one of my favorites as well. When you got Podrick and Bronn rolling up, and he's like, Podrick, I'd like you to meet Sir Terran Mant and his who's it, what's it? And the guy goes, Sir Meryn Trant. He's like, okay, sure. I'm Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. And he's like, you're no knight. And Podrick's like, the king dubbed him a knight himself. Like, and I love that's a little update between seasons, because after the Battle of Blackwater Bay, he was not Sir Bronn of the Blackwater before.
That's right. We didn't get to
now
see
Sir
that.
Bronn of the Blackwater.
Well, I guess we get to see Joffrey name Tywin the savior in the hand. So I guess it just would have happened. But okay. So he was a knight, made a knight in front of everyone, but people are like, you're not a knight. Yeah. Okay, I see.
And he's like, I like the way he's like, he tells Meryn Trant, like, oh yeah, you like being a knight about as much as you like beating little girls, huh? Okay.
Hey, yes, Bronn coming in with the heat,
hot. Ready to kill his ass too. Like they were about
hands
to
on
fight
the daggers.
Out right then.
He's ready. Whenever he's got his hands behind his back, you I don't know. That's I don't want to. I never
fuck with Bronn.
Yeah, if I'm with Bronn, I want to see his hands at all times.
Right. Never put your hands behind your back, homie.
Man, we always get teased with like these powerhouse battles that could happen, like these Western standoff, sort of things. It's kind of it's basically just the Western standoff of Game of Thrones, It's Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. Right. It's all the same stuff, just different flavor.
No, I love it. I love it. But Cersei walks out, and that's kind of the end of that. But after that, Tyrion goes to sit in front of Tywin in his office. He comments on how good he looks wearing the pin. Doesn't look nearly as good as he did, though. And this is the letter I was talking about.
Actually?
Yeah.
Do we get to see? Is it shown what is written on it?
You get a few words, and it says something about how someone will be rewarded for their hunt. We are tempting the wolves. We are like there's a lot of it's code. Like it's coded like go ahead and
he's a Nazi. It literally is like it's I don't know, they're doing like the I guess it's just war, it's smart, but I don't know, it's the imagery. They're probably putting him as more of like that type, I guess, you know.
right.
Cuz I don't know, I guess cuz Rob is outside of cuz they're not at Harrenhal. That's right.
He's
They
back in
left it
King's
all.
Landing.
So
now.
yeah, so what does he mean by they're poking, like they're testing? Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what I don't know, I'm trying just to break down like what he could mean by that.
Yeah, no,
like,
I froze frame a couple shots, and I was like, look, I was trying to read it, and they don't give you nearly enough to read entire sentences. It's bits and pieces, but it's in regards to the wolves and how they're drawing them out of the forest, and how someone will be rewarded for their hunt.
Okay. Could just mean if you kill.
Yeah, I think
you kill the Starks.
Phrase saying like,
wow, that could be it right there. Actually, like,
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
Wow, was it that simple? Like, was it just if you kill them, you'll be rewarded, and then Walder Frey and Bolton took it upon themselves to like find out the way to like? Was it Tywin that came up with the brutal way to get rid of? You know, like who came up with the actual orchestration?
Method? No, yeah. I don't know.
That's
I do want to bet
that's
Roose and Frey on their own.
That's a Roose thing. That's a Bolton fucking orchestration there. I feel like Tywin maybe just said, if you kill him, you'll be rewarded, and then Bolton that makes sense. The twisted nature of Frey and Bolton together. Like
now, the Lord of the Riverlands is like, you know, the way Ned Stark was the Warden of the North, and you got like the Stormlands are held by the Baratheons. The Riverlands are held by the Tullys, Catelyn's family, and their rival family is the Freys. So that's what they're rewarded with. Is Walder becomes the Lord of the Riverlands instead of the Tullys. Like they are the seat of that entire region.
Dang, man. What a scheming little rodent. Well, Arya eventually gets him and bakes his name into a pie.
Arya eventually gets a lot of motherfuckers.
So I'm good.
There's some things that I cannot wait to get back to.
No Hodors. Fuck.
No Hodors. Not even a Hodor appearance.
Yeah, nothing. No Arya appearance either. So no kill list or man, whatever. We'll get there.
Right.
In the Valar, in the episode of Valar, you know, we hear Valar Morghulis from Arya, and that's where we hear it, you know, and that's the episode.
Valar Morghulis is all men must die, but Valar Dohaeris is all men must serve.
That makes more sense for Jon.
John. I was even thinking like the conversation Tywin and Tyrion have right here. Like Tywin's like, yeah, I'm never going to give you Casterly Rock, but you'll serve the family's legacy in the way that I see fit.
It is just kind of it's just kind of everyone.
Yeah, it fits for everybody. But nevertheless, this comes as a shock to Tyrion because, you know, Jaime gave up his right to inherit once he joined the Kingsguard, and he is rightfully the next in line for succession. But he's like, I don't give a fuck, man. You killed your mom, and I've had to throw the lion on you because I can't prove you're not mine.
That's an interesting line.
Yes,
right there.
And that was the source of a lot of theory.
Because I think I don't know if it was the season finale of episode 2, or it was one episode in season 2 where I'm like, yo, Tyrion might be a Targaryen, you know, or he might be not necessarily maybe a Targaryen, but like a protected child like Jon, you know, and Tywin had to swear a secret. That's right. I think. Well, I think I said it maybe or that I feel like I had a theory on Varys that he was a Targaryen. Yeah, but I feel like, did I not mention one on Tyrion? That he was like
you did at some point. It's a pretty long-standing theory that, like, when it came to season 8, again, we're going to go back to the theories going into season 8 a lot, that it would be Daenerys riding Drogon,
the 3 heads of the
Jon
dragon,
riding Rhaegal, and Tyrion riding Viserion. You know, like that was the theory. Or going into season 7 even.
I mean, that's the thing is that I don't know. He does not have the Lannister hair at all. You know, like, and hair is very strong thing in Game of Thrones. You know, like his hair is not Lannister, and
certainly not Targaryen though either.
And yeah, and so it's something, and it would make sense if like Tywin was put in the same situation that Ned was put in with Jon, and that he had to say that this was his son, but it's really not. And it's some import, you know, it's a Stark and Lannis, Stark and Targaryen. How would that hair work? I'm trying to think.
Well, Jon.
Could he have Stark blood and Targaryen blood?
Well,
but who would that even be?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's
who would
the
Tywin
thing,
even
that
like that? Yeah,
whoever
like,
it is, regardless, what's really important is what family the mother of Jaime, Cersei, and Tyrion belonged to before she married into the Lannisters. What was she prior to being a Lannister? You know, who was Tywin Lannister's wife, and what family did she come from prior?
Let's see. Tywin. Where's Tywin? There you are. Joanna. She came from Jason. What, Jason? That's all you're gonna give me? Wow. Okay, well, not very detailed, I guess, back that far. But yeah, I wonder. I don't know. It really seems that like that line of I've never, I guess, thought of that line before. But like Tywin saying that, like, I can't prove that you're not mine. Like that. That's either just that he's so pissed that he actually killed his wife, and that he just, I don't know. Like, what is he? Is there any situation where like Tyrion is Tywin's kid? Like, why does he say that if
it's the fact that his wife gave birth to this child and died in the process?
So is it just he doesn't want to believe that it's his kid?
Yeah, he doesn't want to believe that this is his child. He'd rather believe that his wife cheated on him.
Okay, yeah. So I can't prove. Okay, I see. That makes sense. So there is okay. So he does maybe believe that there is a possibility that it is his kid, but he's just in denial. Like, he's just, okay. That makes more sense.
And also, it appears that Joanna Lannister came from the Lannisters. And was a cousin or something.
But who does she cheat on? Or who was the other lover that came in? And, you know, that would be the interesting thing, I think, would be the person who came in and that's not Tywin. So who impregnated her?
Yeah, that would be the speculation. And there's
it's
really
Lannister
no
blood
telling.
for sure. So he's half Lannister, but it's not Tywin's blood. Maybe.
Yeah, if there was anything that would make him not full Lannister, it'd be whoever banged his mom. And there's no real telling.
He's like the same. Who's he like the same age as? Like, who could be his father? Could Rhaegar actually have gone around, fucked a Stark, fucked a Lannister, like, actually, you know, like, is that like, I don't know. I don't want to, you know, the Lyanna, like, is
that's
a
like
lot more loving
thing,
story,
so,
and I want to believe that they're like just cool with that.
It's
you know,
definitely
but, like,
that's my.
So I don't
want
to. I don't even want to come close.
I think he's a Lannister. I think he's a Lannister through and through, and I think his hair color evolving from blonde to brown is more of a symbol of him getting further and further away from being a Lannister at heart. Being with, because Jaime's hair gets darker and darker throughout the show too, because
that's true.
I think it's just to show how far away they get from those family values.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's less. It's they get kind of picky and choosy with the way they want to portray hair color. You know. So I think that's more than anything what's going on there. However, it is fun to speculate. Could even shit. I don't know. What if he's What if he's
In
Robert?
in the books, his hair is described as almost white.
In the books, Tyrion's a little like he doesn't look the way our
Oh, he's
Tyrion
very,
looks.
very, very demented. And
Like the illusion in this episode where Cersei says, they said you lost your nose. He loses his nose in the books.
yeah. Oh yeah, I know that,
That's
but
like
the haircut, like that, I didn't really remember that it was described as almost white. That's interesting in the books. But nonetheless, we'll get there in season 8. Eventually.
We'll get back to all the speculations we want to make.
We got a lot to cover until then.
Regardless, Tywin is obstinately maintaining that his belief that Tyrion is a whoremongering, drunken, ill-made, spiteful little creature, and that he is lying about all of his accomplishments out of envy. And Tywin is particularly insulted that Tyrion brought his mistress to the capital when Tywin explicitly told him not to, and before he can leave, he says that the next whore he brings into his bed, he will hang. And I loved the way Tyrion just turned out of the room before he even finished speaking. Either one of them could have won a performance nod in this episode too. The performances in this episode were absurdly good.
One of them will. And I'll give it to Charles Dance this time for Tywin. And it's, man, I hate to do it because he's just playing such a dick role and just a dick father figure. But he knows how to portray power and portray just the war strategist. He is Tywin Lannister through and through. And this episode, I don't know, it really shows how he thinks of Tyrion. And whenever he's getting that emotional, he kind of chokes up a little bit whenever he is talking about losing, when you killed your mother, whenever you brought, I forgot, I don't know, I feel like he choked up on something else, but it was really maybe about giving him, not choking up, but more of I can't believe you actually think I would give you Casterly Rock, sort of thing. You think I would disgrace the family legacy that much, sort of thing. And I was
I think you could name something in the realm of choking up when he mentions that, and I have to pin the lion, you get the Lannister name like my father and his father before him, he's getting all
that's what it was.
You're a disgrace to our name and I can't fucking stand you. It's ridiculous that this is even in question.
Man, and
he did fucking
the scene
fantastic.
Is shot so good too. The light that's coming through the window and hitting his face,
and all the trinkets
sort of
and baubles on the desk.
Oh my God.
Kind of
and he's melted the wax and put the seal in it. And
they put a lot of emphasis on that note. By the way,
you're right, man. Now that I think, yeah, wow, that's an important note right there. But he's always shown doing something. He's always doing something. He's always
multitasking.
Gutting a stag. He's freaking, I don't know. He's just doing something cool.
Well, and it's I think it's to portray that this character, as he is just he's just this not talented necessarily, but he can't be bothered by what anyone has to say. He has his own shit going on. Anyone else bringing something to the table is an afterthought to him. He's
yeah, you're right.
I don't give a fuck.
Because he's like, I got 7 kingdoms to protect, and 3 of them are in open rebellion. What the fuck do you want, Tyrion? He's like, oh, you did just actually do all this cool shit, and I didn't come visit you down in your room whenever you were all scarred and wounded and stuff.
Mace whatever. Assured me that your injuries were not fatal, and he's like,
oh,
okay,
thanks, Dad. Cool. All I want is, maybe a little thank you. Maybe that's it. But I mean, he does ask for Casterly Rock. So, I guess he maybe overstepped, so maybe a little bit more, but I guess at first he was asking just for a little gratitude at first. That's the part that he was he actually, Tyrion kind of broke up about. He was he just, that's all he wants from his father.
He wants his dad to be proud of him. Yeah. He's I did something good. Finally, that there's literally no fucking way you could possibly think I didn't do good at it. I did fucking great out here. for the love of God, acknowledge that. You know, and
Yeah.
then this whole conversation is just to go back that no matter what Tyrion does, he will never earn Tywin's approval. Like there's nothing he can do that will make Tywin not resent him. And I think it's a good way to kind of put on display the sibling dynamic between Cersei, Jaime, and Tyrion. How Cersei very clearly takes after her father in pretty much every single capacity. She also blames Tyrion for the death of their mother. I'm sure she's heard that from her dad for a very long time. And Jaime doesn't. You know, Jaime's like, it's not his fucking fault. That's not reasonable at all. Like, that's fucking stupid. So I'd assume he takes a little bit more after their mom. And like, there's kind of a balance there that I think is pretty interesting. But, because Jaime, like, the only child who I think is not a disappointment in Tywin's eyes is Cersei, and it's disappointing that she's a woman.
Dang.
He's like, I wish you were a man.
Yeah. Man. And Cersei wishes it too. She literally said it last season.
Yeah. Wish I were born a man.
And it's like, I don't know. That's why the show is just so good. And like it sucks that these problems are present, but it just makes for such good storytelling.
Makes some great TV, man.
Like it's like
TV.
No, it makes you realize like these problems are present and they are problems. You see them as problems. So it's like it's still, you know, even though it's bad and you don't want it to be there, it's important to see it in a bad light.
Yeah, exactly.
In media. So that scene that he just, I don't know, I was going back and forth for performance and because there's a couple others in this episode that, I mean, I don't know, there's one other that I think it definitely just, I don't know, he goes kind of hard, but I
went a little out of left field. I'm not sure if you'll feel the same way about it, but I loved the performance I picked, and it wasn't a no-brainer, but like we'll get there before long. But regardless, I loved the next scene as well, where Tyrion is fuming about the situation to Bronn, and Bronn's like, "Well, you know, I'm a knight now, and I'm Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. I don't possess any lands, wealth, or titles. It does drastically elevate my social standing, though, so you need to pay me double." And Tyrion's like, "I don't even know what the fuck I'm paying you right now." And he's like, "That means you can afford it."
Oh, they're so good.
I love them,
just
dude.
So good. They make each other better. You know, they build off each other so well. God, it's so, that dude gets a castle at the end, you know, man, look at that, from a sellsword just to defend Tyrion. He's like, fuck it, yeah, I'll defend Tyrion up in the Vale.
The master of coin,
like,
bro.
Yeah, he's like, I'll defend Tyrion up in the Vale. You know, he's like, sure, no one's gonna defend this guy. Yeah, I'll do it. And then from that moment on,
life forever.
Boom, master of coin at the end of that. Wow, like Bronn, what a guy, what a
king. But all the while, Joffrey is riding back from the Great Sept of Baelor in a heavily guarded palanquin, and is interrupted when his betrothed, Lady Marjorie Tyrell, stops the procession in Flea Bottom unexpectedly.
Hell yeah, Marjorie.
This is my character for the episode. I chose Marjorie for my favorite character. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, because you can tell that she is a good person, and she actually wants to do this, but it's not just that.
It's for show too. Oh yeah,
she's playing the game.
It's a little bit of both, for sure.
She's gaining the favor of the people, so that people act like, and by extension, she's improving the image of Joffrey. You know, like she's like,
yeah.
An unhappy kingdom does not do well. So like if she can support the lowest of lowly citizens in Flea Bottom, she arrives at the orphanage, interacting with the children and giving them bread and toys, and telling the people running the orphanage that if they need anything, you come to me, directly to me, with anything else, and that's the part that makes me go, she actually wants to help. Yeah, she knows that if it goes to anyone else, it won't get done.
Yeah, the show part was her walking up slowly, her not being intimidated by the guy, her stopping before the like puddle of shit water, on purpose to stop. She knows what it is, and then she makes it known, I have others. You know, that's the stuff that's for show. Yeah. But once she's actually in there talking to the kid, talking to the kids, themselves, like all the stories, like, no, your father fought bravely for the city, like don't think of it like that he's gone. Like think he was so brave and he protected us and everything. It's like, wow, like this is what you want out of a queen, like this is a queen right here. I don't know. That's a really good character pick there. I didn't even think of her, sadly.
Yeah, I loved her in this episode.
But man,
she's got a lot going on here, and furthermore, even after this scene, because that was obviously like the good stuff about her. But that evening, going back to the dinner with Joffrey and Cersei, and with her brother Loras, and she admonishes the dress that Cersei's wearing, the intricate metal work, and she's never seen anything like it. And Cersei's like, "You look cold. Put on some more clothes."
She's a little jealous, I think, or something. I don't know, or she just doesn't want like doesn't she want Joffrey to marry her? Like she wants this alliance, right?
She wants the alliance. There's a great balance here in Cersei's thought process for my money, in that she doesn't want to give up the power she holds as queen. She is queen regent right now, and if a different queen ascends, then she's no longer queen. She's just queen mother at that point.
I see.
So like there's a lot going on here that's just behind. Like on a personal note, Cersei does not want this for the family standing and for just the good being of their reign. It does make sense to align with the Tyrells.
That's kind of sick. You have Marjorie, like, although she's very exposed, I don't mean as just like exposed just because she's showing off like her cleavage, but like exposed as in like no protection, no armor, while Cersei's literally wearing armor at a dinner with her family. Yeah. Like to protect her neck, she's wearing armor around her neck and her chest and like her belly. Like it's like, why do you need armor, there? So like she just doesn't trust anybody.
She doesn't trust anyone.
While Marjorie is just that's her thing, is that she might not trust everybody in her own mind, but she shows that she trusts everybody. Right. And that's how she plays. That's how she plays her game. And man, now the more I'm talking about her, the more it's like,
Marjorie's a good character this week. No, it was a really, and she only had a couple scenes, but those scenes were fucking strong.
Yeah, they are. But man, that dinner, I didn't think about why wear armor to a dinner, with your son and
then Joffrey fucking flames her ass. Is like, in her old age, she grows increasingly naive, and
Joffrey just hates women. Like it's so sad.
He is such a piece of shit.
Man, it's hard to watch.
Like, okay. All right. Fuck this, essentially. Since Cersei only really knows how to rule through like fear, and Marjorie knows how to win the love of the people she rules. Like Cersei can get the fear, Marjorie can get the love, and it's like, which ends up weighing more. Well, it's the person who's willing to blow up an entire
kill all of them. Yeah, it's like, well, Marjorie did win, sure, when you look at it as like in the eyes of the people and of who you would actually want to be queen there, but who was actually up living at the end of it?
Who ascended to be the first queen of the Seven Kingdoms?
In the history books, Marjorie sadly won't be there, but Cersei will. Well, maybe not now. Maybe they just wipe that, actually. So she won't be there, maybe. I don't know. But
I feel like Bran might be a little bit more honorable than that, He
cares about all time. He doesn't belong to any house now.
So
he actually doesn't,
they'll take that down, I think.
Yeah, they'll want to remember the bad. Yeah, they'll be like, no, what do they call her? What do they call Cersei?
Probably the Mad Queen.
That's sick. The Mad King followed by the Mad Queen. The only gap was the husband that linked the two, or I don't know. Wow, that's kind of sick. I just need the sequel. I don't know. I just need the continuation of the story, going, man.
Maybe one day. But regardless, After this, we see Sansa and Shay sitting on the docks watching the ships arrive and depart from the port. And Sansa wants to play a game about making up the stories about where the ships are headed. And she's got all these fun theories and fun ideas. And Shay's like, no, I don't want to play. I know exactly where that ship is going based off of the ship itself. I've seen it. I've been on one. I know where it's going. And Sansa's like, you fucking suck, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? I'm
trying to have some fucking fun.
Damn, I'm sad and like, I don't belong here. This place sucks. I'm just trying to imagine a place somewhere else. And man, the truth sucks. You know, like, I don't know.
That line was almost my favorite where she's like, why do you make up these stories? She's like, because the truth is either terrible or boring.
And it really is. It usually is. And that is the truth. And I love that, like, I guess this is after, Baelish comes up to her and everything, but like, she's just looking out into the ocean and the transition to the next scene. Like, they're all like, yeah, the truth sucks and it's boring and whatever. And they're all like going off. And then it transitions to like Daenerys' dragons flying over the ocean. And, you know, it's like, so Sansa's just kind of like, I don't know, she's the only one who's
out there. Yeah,
kind of out there with them. And eventually, they do fight together for a little bit.
They have
fights against one dragon too.
They have some beef for a second.
It's like a both. So yeah, it's like without them though.
No, for sure.
Wouldn't have survived as long. But I don't know. I love that transition.
I did too. Peter arrives there to speak with Sansa thereafter, and she displays, you know, an eagerness to get her the fuck out of there. And he's like, "Well, I'll let you know when I leave the capital next by sea, and you'll have to be ready on a moment's notice."
Finger, Littlefinger. This is his main objective, right? I'd assume that he's like, he needs to get out of the city, and that he's going, and that he has some main objective. I have some other mission that requires me to leave, I guess, you know. But I think like what he really wants to do in his, like, for himself is to act like he's on some greater mission, protect Sansa, show her that he is a protector, and like swoo her and win her over. You know, so he's like saying, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to take you. I might be able to, you know, like, just, don't plan, you know, so he's like wording it that way, but he like is already full planning on, like, I don't know. Am I like, I guess I don't really remember what happens with him like further on. So I don't know if I'm just way off.
He does end up stowing her away on a ship at some point, after the death of Joffrey. Like, she escapes from that event with Dantos and runs straight to his ship. And that's,
so he's not like leaving King's Landing like right now. He's not pressed to leave or something like that. I thought he was like, he says that he has to like get out of here or something like that.
No, he says that he has no eagerness to leave. He's like, I don't know when I'll leave next, but when I do, you have to be ready.
I see now. Because I thought he said he has some like, something to do.
Matter.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
There's also the fact that he only plans to stow her away by sea, so maybe he has somewhere to go that's not by sea. Like maybe he has somewhere to go that's by fucking the King's Road.
Yeah, because he says, whenever I set off for sail, you must be ready to leave at a moment's notice. So I guess it might just be like, I don't know when I'm going to leave, but whenever I do, I will set sail, and you must be ready.
Well, and that's clearly bullshit. Because Littlefinger knows what he's doing. He doesn't do things randomly. Yeah. He knows when his next trip will be. He knows when he's leaving next. And regardless of if he truly means the next time he leaves, because that's a possibility too. Like, he could leave by ship and just not tell her, like, and then come back and, like, he's just playing his cards close to the vest. He's not telling her everything. Tells her that he's seen Arya, but doesn't tell her that he's seen Arya. And your sister, Arya's alive? And he just, like, looks out over the water, and it's like, God, you piece of shit.
Wow. Yeah. I guess, like, what would he say there? He's like, well, I saw her with Tywin Lannister.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't say shit.
Yeah, he's like, well, yes, but I actually don't know, because she could very well be dead now. Like, maybe that's why he actually just stayed quiet, because if he told the truth, it'd be more worrisome for Sansa than Aki.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he's keeping it close to the chest, so it makes her trust him more. That's all.
I'm not trying to defend him. Also, he's doing it for his gain,
completely
100%. To win her over. So, like, that is the whole point. But, like, the truth also sucks.
Yeah. There you go. It's terrible.
It's boring. It's terrible and boring and often sucks. Yeah. So, there you
go. But, meanwhile, Roz is talking to Shay over there, who seems to be acting as Littlefinger's aide in his affairs now, not just the maiden at his brothel. And she reminisces about the day Sansa was born, when all the bells in Winterfell were rung in celebration from dusk till dawn. And she asks Shay to look out for Sansa. And she's like, I will. And she's like, no, look out for her with him.
Oh, yeah. She works for Varys now.
Yeah.
She's getting that double salary right now. She's getting paid.
Even if she wasn't working for someone else, she knows Littlefinger fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, she is. I feel like she wants to work for Varys because, like, Varys isn't actually a dick compared to Littlefinger. And, like, Littlefinger just actually sucks and makes Roz do horrible things and, like, but now, whatever. But, like, I think, like, she's just working for Littlefinger still just to get the money from him. Like, just to suck all the money from him and then, like, also, like, report back to Varys.
Yeah, that's why. Is she spying on Littlefinger for Varys?
Yeah. Like, he
doesn't have a direct line to
perfect.
Him.
Yeah, it's like it's a perfect a perfect position for her. She can keep getting paid from Littlefinger and just spy on him at the same time and, like, just take, I don't know, like,
perfect combo going on. Doesn't pay off for long.
I know, that's sad. So we gotta let her, because she's I don't know, her rise is very strong. So let's give her flowers while we can't give them to her.
She's dope. They even say it, like, pretty cool where we're at. We've come a long way from where we started. And it's like Shay's like, yeah, I fucking guess. Whatever, man. I don't know. I'm kind of really disappointed with the way things are going, but sure.
Yeah, Shay's not. I guess Roz is doing a little better.
Yeah. Shay's got to live in secret and doing all this stuff. Like, it's just not the same life they're leading. But regardless, that kind of concludes the story in King's Landing. Because next we're on off the shores of King's Landing, where Davos Seaworth is rescued from the sea by Salador San after being thrown overboard by a wildfire blast. I loved the scene where he waves down the ship and then they come up and he's asked, what king do you serve? And he's like, the one true king of Westeros.
It's like, I got a 20% chance of living here. It's like, there's 5 kings right now, or I don't know how many that are going for it. He's like,
I might as well just stay loyal, know?
Yep, I'm a loyal man. The true king, Stannis Baratheon. And he's like,
Stannis Baratheon.
He's like, oh.
And then, yeah, all right, I bet. That's dope.
Yeah. Whew. That's a relief, Yeah. That's a scary interaction.
No, but this series of scenes, because after this we'll go to Dragonstone, earns Liam Cunningham as Davos my performance nod.
No. Yeah, not off left field. This was the guy who I was thinking of.
Okay, cool.
Like, he actually had to like be in all the the makeup and like actually thinking, and then like the
every once in a while there's a performance in a show where it's just so believable that I actually end up getting taken out and thinking like, wow, this is just a guy acting right now. Like whenever he's standing there like waving down the ship and he's covered in like the blisters from the wildfire and the sun presumably, and he's like the loss he feels for the death of his son and the way he talks to Salador in a second, I'm just like, God damn, this guy's good at what he does.
The way he wakes up and the shot is like of his hand and all of his like fingers are gone now, right? Like, or was it just like, because like it looked like all of them were gone now, or I don't know, maybe it was just like it was so blurred that you couldn't really see it.
These four have always been gone though.
Really? I thought it was just his pinky and. He cut off like all 4?
I think he cut all 4 of his fingers off.
Oh, I thought he cut off his pinky and his ring finger. Maybe.
I don't know.
Why do I don't know why I'm maybe thinking about that, but I don't know. The shot was just like it was just like the
good looking shot.
And then like
when
it
he takes
shows
off his shirt, we get this like wide pan back of him like waving down,
showing
the
how
ship.
small he looks. Yeah, like actually how hard it would be to see someone out there like that, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's completely deserved.
Okay, cool. I thought he was
like,
deserving. I just wasn't sure if he might have gotten overlooked, based off a bunch of other more prominent performances, because he's only in a few scenes, but he
actually had to like do something.
Yeah,
you know,
like he was. There's something like theatrical about it. Like he almost feels like a theater performer, not like a TV show or movie type feel. It's like there's something over the top about it that I really, really enjoy. And
what's this pirate's character's name?
Salador San.
Salador San. Yeah, I don't know. Their back and forth was amazing. You know, like
great.
Just two characters going back, like just going at it, and like he almost like I was thinking about him for the character.
At my wedding.
Yeah, like well, you drank with me at 4, or I drank with you at 4 of your or 4 of mine, or what was it? What was?
Yeah,
it?
he said
he said that he got married.
You drank with me at my wedding, and he goes, yeah, and you drank with me at 4 of mine.
So Davos has come to 4. So this okay, because I didn't catch. It was like I had it, I think, reversed. I'm like, wait, Davos has gotten married 4 times, and this pirate's gotten married once. I'm like, yo, no way! Like this has to be the other way around. Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But
he's like, but you don't see me asking for fucking favors, do you? And he's like, come on, man, please. And
just take me to Dragonstone, man.
Isn't
that all? Isn't that all he asked for? Was just to take him to Dragonstone? Yeah,
that was all. I said, he's like, I have no interest in being burned at the stake by your little fire goddess over there.
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck?
If you kill her, you'll get burned. If you don't, you'll get burned. You know, or whatever. Like he's like,
if you succeed, you burn. If you fail, you burn. Like there's no way around it. You're gonna die by fire if you try to kill Melisandre.
And man, yeah, you're right about it being theatrical. Like the pirate's quarters, like his little room, like was so in his outfit, the like cheetah print on his chair, like everything, like oh man, it was so good. He's like, yeah, I'll take your nuts and hang them up and have them displayed for your widow or something like that. Like what was that? Like damn, dude. Like yeah, I know what a theatrical
play up there.
Scene. Yeah, I know. When you are dead. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I will gather your bones in a little sack and let your widow wear them around their neck. I thought he said ball sack. I thought he was referring to his balls. Never mind. Just his bones in a sack. Sorry.
I love that though. That's funny.
I guess his balls wouldn't survive him being burned. So it would just be his bones and ash. And okay. I see now. Oh, damn. Even, ooh.
But okay. Nevertheless, we'll continue the storyline and go to the one scene in Dragonstone, where King Stannis Baratheon's shattered forces regroup after being totally destroyed in the Battle of Blackwater, and Davos returns and finds Stannis despondent. You know, he's not doing good. He's just sitting in the chamber of the Painted Table alone with Melisandre, and Davos is like, yo, so we're burning prisoners now, huh? Does that sound like it's a cool, good move? You like that? You're down for that? That's what you want to do? And he's like, man, I don't know anymore. Just doing it, man. I don't give a fuck. I listen to her, man. I'm truly lost. I'm gone. I don't exist anymore.
Yep. It's like, well, you gave, you know, and she spells it out for him too. You know, that you can tell that this is how she's been spending it to Stannis the whole time, as like, well, if I was there, I could have put out that fire and all of your men I could have given them more power or something, you know, like she probably was like, I could have given them more power from that fire and you would have won even easier sort of thing. And
you could hand to the king right now and Stannis would be king and all this. And
so it's the blame has been put solely on Davos, you know, for the loss, and that it gives Melisandre a way for Stannis to continue still, you know, like there it's just this one guy that to blame now, not the loss of, you know, the massive loss that you have suffered. It's just this one guy that, you know, that you can blame now. And it's so sad, you know, like I don't know. It would be interesting to see Melisandre actually be at that Battle of Black. Like, what could she have done actually with the wildfire there? And I don't know. I think she might be
could have
right.
done something, but not a lot.
I think she could have just put the fire out. Like,
Right.
honestly, is like what she would have done. I don't think it would have been like now I use the power of the fire, and maybe she just sends it back to them or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a giant fucking explosion. Not a lot you can do in the second it takes for something to explode. You know what I'm saying?
I guess you're right. So many people still would have died. So,
Yeah.
like, even if she was there, like, she's still just spinning it as, yeah. I guess she's just, poor Stannis, man. That's like this rewatch, that's all I felt. Man, that's just so sad. I know.
Man. A sad sack of a man at this point. But, when she's like, I'm not your enemy, and Davos was like, you are my enemy. Like, I am certain of that. I don't go burning people or judging people for the gods they worship. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she says, if I was there, I could have saved everyone. I could have prevented all those men from burning, including your own son. And Davos was like, cool, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Draws a knife, charges at her, but is restrained by the guards, and Stannis orders to put him in the dungeon, and thus begins another one of my favorite storylines in this show, him learning to read from Stannis' daughter. I don't know if you remember that. That's a real cute storyline.
That's right. Oh, okay, yeah.
And then inevitably,
Davos is such a cool character.
Dude, I love Davos. I'll always love me some Davos, man. He's a great character and a good guy. One of the very few just genuinely good people in the entirety of the Seven Kingdoms. But that concludes the story of Dragonstone, and I had to give Liam Cunningham for Davos.
Oh, yeah, no, that's nice. No, he's definitely well deserved. He owned this episode. I felt like because he just actually had to do physical and
he was
like stress situation.
Yeah.
He's like
his performance just stood out in a
different
very genuine and particular way, and I really enjoyed it. But after that, we head to Harrenhal in the Riverlands, where the morale of King Rob's army is not doing well. The men want to fight. I want to fight, and I fear that we're not going to find one here. The Battle of Oxcross was months ago. They haven't done anything. Lannisters beat Stannis, and there's a new alliance with the Tyrells, and everything's just bad news, bad news, bad news. Nothing's going well right now to defeat their enemy. He's like, yeah, I've won every battle I've ever fought, but the Lannisters, they don't want to face me head on anymore. Like, there's no battles to fight. They're avoiding me. Like, that's how they're winning right now, is simply by not fighting at all. Like, they're going to make me storm King's Landing in order to win this battle. And,
man, yeah, I don't know. They see, like, I guess it was 200 men slaughtered here at Harrenhal is what they say. 200 Northmen slaughtered like sheep. And then there was a bannerman of House Tully there, right? Like the leader, like, or like or I guess just the banner. What is
the leader of his house?
Leader of the leader of the house. So man,
whatever house was a bannerman of the Tullys. Like, he's not like head Tully or anything.
Is that their way of saying that, like, the Riverlands are already like? Because if the Riverlands are controlled by House Tully, I guess this one guy is just dead. Maybe not like all of House Tully's gone or whatever. But
he's like, there's a chance that this house saw fit to just go ahead and aid on their own because they were right there, and they were like, yeah, sure, like, there's a massacre happening, might as well try to stop it.
Dang. Man, and I don't know, it is sad that even through that, like, Catelyn sees, the bannerman, she's like, oh my god, like, that's so sad. But then Rob's still just like, well, find her a cell, like, find her
a room that will serve as a cell. And Talisa being like, that's your mom. And he's like, she freed Jaime Lannister, man. I really have no choice. I already married you, which nobody likes. I gotta keep doing this, I can't keep taking it easy.
Yeah, that is tough. But I don't know, right in here you get How long does Kyber isn't it Kyber? Maester Kyber?
Qyburn.
Yeah, how long does he last?
Season 8, episode 5.
Yeah, he dies at the very wow. So another very long lasting.
He has the funniest and most uneventful death in the show, which is really, really awesome.
How does he die?
So Cersei, Cersei, the Mountain, and Qyburn are all walking down the stairs while Daenerys is burning down the city, and Cersei and Qyburn are walking when the Mountain decides to stop because he sees the Hound. And Qyburn's like, "You fool! Protect your queen! Protect your..." And then the Mountain shoves his head against a wall and then throws him down the stairs.
Oh, that's right. Oh man,
he's very funny stuff. He's a sick fuck. So it was like, fuck yeah, thank God.
Dang, wow. But
and then that's when Cersei just kind of like walks away. I don't know if you remember that. She just like kind of walks out of the frame, like, I'll let y'all
get out of here.
Do this.
Yep, probably not a good thing for me to stay for. So
yeah, but regardless, this is when they find Qyburn here, and they go ahead and try to heal him, but there's not much left to heal.
What does he even say anything, or is it just like, oh, this dude's awake now?
Yeah, they're like, you're lucky you've survived, and he looks around and he goes, lucky? Like,
and that's it?
Yeah, like he's like, oh, am I? I don't feel it. But yeah, it was a pretty simple scene. He has a lot more interaction in the episodes to come.
Wait a minute. He's the what was he like before? Was he was a prisoner, or was he the Maester? No, because why would he be? So he was like,
might have been the Maester at Harrenhal.
But why would he be like tied up? He's like tied up as like with all the Northmen. You know, why would they?
Well, there's also the fact that Harrenhal was a place where they were holding Lannisters were holding a bunch of prisoners, and he's actually a disgraced Maester. He's not a Maester by any laws at all.
Okay.
Because he got his chains taken away because of his experimental procedures.
That's right. Okay, so maybe they were just like,
he could have just been a prisoner that they decided to just leave there and not fuck with.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, like there's a couple things in this episode, particularly that scene where I'm like, why are they there? And Qyburn is one of them, and the Tully Bannerman. I have no idea why he's there. I don't. Just kind of all right, fuck it.
Yeah, because he's like he ends up with Cersei, like in that King's Landing, and like that. That's like what. It's very interesting that he's here first. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he gets there again, because I remember he's the one who like fixes Jaime Lannister's wound whenever it comes time for that. Whenever he's
the one who like resurrects the Mountain, right? Yeah, like as a zombie. Yeah, like he's like, I don't know. He does some like pretty big things,
and
like,
I cannot remember how he gets there for the life of me. But
wow,
that'll be a fun one to watch unfold, because I can't remember one bit. But anyhoozle, we are next, and finally, this is the last one, in Astapor, where Daenerys's ships are arriving at the city in Slaver's Bay after leaving Qarth. Daenerys's dragons are continuing to grow very fast. They're flying around. That shot where he like threw the fish in the air, burnt it, and ate it all in one fell swoop. Very, very cool.
Daenerys is power hungry though. Like from the start, everything she says this episode and all of her like face, like emotion, everything. Like, your dragons are growing. You know, she's like, not fast enough. I need an army. You know, she's like. She's on it. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why we were ever in the mindset of like that she was this cute, innocent, you know, all loving, you know, like she's like, she does good and she wants to do good. But if you get in her way,
she'll fuck you up.
Yeah, she'll kill, like she will kill you.
Well, and that's the thing, is that like we always assumed that anyone who was standing in her way was wrong, was the bad guy. Like, So it was like, fuck yeah, do whatever you want to get there. You know, like if they're fucking you over, they're wrong. You know, and then it comes to a point where the people keep, you know, we get back to when it comes season 8, you know, and she arrives at Winterfell and everyone's afraid of her and nobody's welcoming her. No one's excited to see her. After the Battle of Winterfell, everyone's like, Jon Snow, Jon Snow, Jon Snow. Wow, what a fucking badass he is. Have you ever seen a man ride a dragon? Wow. Yeah,
and
she's like, wow, y'all really hate me. Guess I'm gonna give you a reason to hate me.
Yeah, she does.
Y'all are gonna hate me anyway.
Oh,
Fuck
she
it.
does. No, but like it's very like she is like Jorah's in her ear, like telling her like you will only get a great Khalasar if you are powerful yourself. Like that's the only way that you like can be seen in their eyes as strong. That's all they see is power. So like even her advisor right now is telling her like you need power, you need to be strong, seen as powerful. That's your only path. And I don't know, that's all she knows. You know, right now she has dragons, she has the means to do so. She's getting an army. She's like she's moving fast and her hair is growing in braids every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to watch the progression of just the more and more braids that she gets.
It's pretty impressive. She's I love Daenerys, man. A wonderful character. But you know, they arrive at Astapor and she notes that they are still not big enough to use as the dragons are still not big enough to use as weapons of war to invade Westeros with, and that she needs an army. And Ser Jorah's like, well, you're not going to find a better army than the Unsullied. That's going to be really strong. And Daenerys is like, they're a slave army. So
like, what does that make me?
The distinction is very important to me. And Jorah says, you know, she's like, you got any other ideas as to where you might be able to find an army? Do you have, just let me know. Because if you do, cool. But do you? Nope. Looks like we're stopping off with the Unsullied.
Yep.
And
I love when they get here. Like, I've been waiting for my character to get to this scene because I really think Dany is the character for this episode because she speaks Valyrian and she knows everything that is being said right now. She knows that she's being played completely. It's like, and on first watch, you know she speaks Valyrian, but it was over my head that she could understand them. Like, it was a shock that she understood them the whole time whenever she unveiled, you know, eventually, and like, you know, whatever. Like, it's not hitting me right now, first watch, but now I'm like thinking about it, like, you can see in her eyes, she's like, while they're talking, she's like listening in. You know, like, you can fully tell. In Jorah, someone who doesn't speak Valyrian, right? I'm assuming not. He's just looking off in the distance like someone would if they're hearing a foreign language. But Dany is like, she's looking down and like paying attention. You can just tell that her focus is trying to hear the English and the Valyrian at the same time and hear how she's being played and the sick, twisted stuff that the dude's saying in Valyrian at the same time. You know, it's like, so she's having to really focus hard. And it's, I don't know, it's just really cool watching her through that the whole time.
Right.
And it's, I don't know, it's like perfect that she speaks, you know, like it's the perfect situation that she speaks Valyrian. They see her as I guess, like, do they know that she's Daenerys? Or they just see her as some Westerner? Like,
I think they don't
even know who Daenerys is.
They probably know that the Targaryen name and stuff and that she has dragons and all that, but I think they're probably just assuming that there's no way that this last of the Targaryens has any connection to their Valyrian past. So, like...
That's just... I don't know. They were just speaking... okay. It's just a very... I guess it's because in my head, I know Daenerys speaks Valyrian. So it's like, it's very easy for me to be like, well, she's a Targaryen. She might speak Valyrian. Maybe we...
Well, and there's also this this aspect of Krasnus, the owner of the Unsullied, who, like, he's not a good guy. You got to assume that he is also looking down on Daenerys as a woman.
True.
He probably just assumes she can't speak his language and has a translator. If that's the other thing. If Kraznys goes, "Do you speak Valyrian?" and she responds, maybe this whole thing plays out differently. Maybe she has to, maybe she can't play like that. He just assumes that she can't speak Valyrian and it comes back around to fuck him over.
Oh, it's so good. No, I love, it's sad to see, and hear the stories of the Unsullied, and it's interesting to, if they are real or not, I'd assume, he kind of is because he doesn't say the story of the Unsullied, at all, he's just whatever, I just want to it's hot, just get this over with, tell him the story of the Unsullied. So is this the marketing story that they tell everybody, or is this actually
no, I believe it.
Training? Because they really don't fear anything. These men are kind of they are like that. It makes sense if this.
No, yeah, I fully buy it.
Okay,
because
they really kill the baby.
They translate things for us every once in a while when they want to emphasize that Missandei is saying something else to make it sound better. If they don't show us what he's saying, I think it's what he's saying. They are just being straight up about it.
He says no, truly. Okay, no, he literally tells her no, truly, tell her. And then messengers are not men. Yeah, and she gets into it. So he actually just straight up tells him, no, tell him the truth, and he is just saying it straight up. Yeah. So okay. But man, I don't know.
Trained for battle at the age of 5. Only 1 in 4 recruits survives the training. Also demonstrates that they do not fear pain or death. Slices off one of their nipples, and he thanks him for the opportunity to serve.
Wow.
All men must serve. Valar Dohaeris.
Dang, man. It's so, it's if the 300 Spartans were 8,000 strong, or is he has 8,000 to sell? Is that all of them, or does he have more that he's keeping for himself, too?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I believe he has more than that, but he only has 8,000 to sell, and then she ends up taking all of them anyway.
She takes all of them at the end of this.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was just 8,000 or because that's still a lot, if that is the total number. But I felt like it was maybe she gained more at the end of it. But I don't know. I love the realization of whenever she's they kill a baby right in front of the mother, and then gold is given for retribution. So he's you really kill babies, and then you pay the mother in gold for that? And they're we don't even pay the mother. Oh yeah, we pay the owner of that mother. And then she's okay, I know what I must do now.
Yeah.
She's I'm Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, I'll figure this out. I'll go ahead and do something about this later. And on their way back to their ship, Jorah urges Daenerys, we should do this. Do you think they'll have a better life under you or under Kraznys? This is not, I don't think there's much of a debate here. You ought to go for it regardless of what the method is. And Daenerys is distracted by a child following her and Jorah, and neither noticed a hooded black cloaked figure following them armed with a dagger. And the child keeps running away and then turning around and being hee, hi, and then running away and turning around and be hee, hi. And then the child offers a gift to Daenerys, a wooden ball, and she rolls it to her. But as she picks it up, the hooded stranger knocks it out of her hands. Ser Jorah grabs the guy, and their struggle knocks Daenerys to the ground, where to her horror, the ball cracks in half, and a manticore emerges to attack. Nice little Game of Thrones scorpion.
Nice. Manticore.
Manticore.
Nice. Okay.
But before the creature can harm Daenerys with its lethal sting, and this thing moves quick, the stranger impales it with his dagger and charges at the child, who hisses, bearing teeth and blue lips reminiscent of the warlocks of Qarth. and
Okay.
disappears.
Yep. Just okay. Jumps into the water and then shows back up at the top of the ledge just to like show that it's a warlock, and then walks away. And it's like,
what's up, bitch?
Duh.
You can't escape me. And then, funnily enough, like we never see this.
Yep.
We never see the warlocks again. This is it.
That's all right.
We'll be back, and then they're never back.
I think this is like why Danny is earning the character for this episode for me, is because she like learns a whole lot here. She goes through a lot of lessons learned here in this moment. She's like, oh well, okay. I need an army. I still need, so she's power hungry a little bit. Still, I need an army now. Whatever, blah blah blah. Like, okay, well, what does this make me? Like she actually is thinking of the slavery aspect. She's like, well, if I own a bunch of slaves, then I am a slave. That makes me a slave owner. So she's thinking of that aspect as well, even in her power hungriness. So like she's still, doing good. But then, I guess I lost my train of thought there for a second. Oh no, and then she gets attacked by an other force, not even involved in the current situation that she's in right now. And then she has to deal with that, like deal with being like, oh, I was almost assassinated again. And then immediately right after that, she's like honored as like, I would be honored to join your Queen's Guard by Barristan Selmy, and then given like the power again, like feeling of queen, so like she goes through the biggest roller coaster of emotions here. And it's like, it's super formative on like everything is just super formative on who she ends up being. And it makes sense like who she ends up being because of what happens to her. It's not out of left field that she burns down King's Landing, really.
No, yeah, this actually earns my favorite scene, the return of Barristan Selmy here. I absolutely adored it as she turns to see him, and the man addresses her as his queen, my queen, and he removes his hood, and she asks if Jorah knows the man, and Jorah's like, yeah, oh wow, yeah, I definitely do. This guy's is one of the best fighters in all the Seven Kingdoms. Like this guy's a badass. And Sir Barristan Selmy greets her. Jorah states that he was the Lord Commander of Robert Baratheon's Kingsguard, and Barristan, falling to his knees, says, after Robert's death and dismissal by Joffrey, I had one goal, and it was to find my way back to you, to beg for your forgiveness and serve in your Queen's Guard. And he hopes to make amends for failing the House Targaryen during and after Robert's rebellion.
This here was my line that I went with. I mean, it was the last line. It's easy to go with the last line of the episode, but it came from Barristan Selmy. And, I almost went with Daenerys being like, this man? And Jorah was like, yeah, I do. That's one of the greatest swordsmen in all of Westeros right there.
Yeah.
But the line I'm actually going with is, I was sworn to protect your family. I failed them. I am Barristan Selmy, Kingsguard to your father. Allow me to join your Queen's Guard. I will not fail you again. And it was just like, and then it shows Daenerys, just like all in her glory as well. It's like such a, like, oh man, like such a nice, Barristan gets humiliated in front of everyone for being like one of the goats, in King's Landing. And now he's like, I want to do this now. Like he's motivated, and that man motivated. Don't get in his way. Yeah, don't get in his way.
Yeah, no, it's funny. We kind of had an inverse thing going on where my favorite scene had your favorite line, and your favorite scene had my favorite line, which I think is funny.
Wow. I guess kind of the same thing. That's kind of what I use line for, honestly, is like another scene that I can throw in
to pay homage to another scene I really like. That's how I do it too.
So, but no,
unless a line is just that strong.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I guess most of my other lines.
That concludes the episode and leaves us with a rating.
I guess, yeah, we are there. Ooh, okay. This one is, I think. Well, let's just start with enjoyment. I don't want to just get the right. I guess let's do our thing.
Enjoyment wise, I'm pretty high on this. It's not like Not like jaw dropping or anything. Nothing that's like, whoa, it's one of my favorite episodes ever. No, it was a damn good episode, and I really enjoyed it. I found myself sitting somewhere around an 8.5, 8.75. You know,
8.5 was the floor. I'm like, it is Good Thrones season premiere. You know, they're getting everything. They got to remind everyone of what happened previously last season a little bit. You know, have some catch up, and then also start the season out. So it's like they got to do a lot of stuff, and you can't do a lot of flashy things necessarily this episode. But for an episode of Thrones, I'm like, yeah, no, this was still firing on all cylinders. I'm loving it. So yeah, I was around like 8.7. I don't think I was at a 9, so I was like 8.5 or 8.75.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I think we ought to give it the little bump, 8.75. I think that's fair. Okay. I think it was a good season 3 premiere, and it's funny, you know, just a few weeks ago, looking at like the Mandalorian season premiere, I think we gave that an 8.75 in enjoyment too, and I think honestly, I think I like this about as much as the season 3 premiere of the Mandalorian. I think it's similar footing.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, it's going to be easier just to enjoy Star Wars flat out, automatically there. That makes a whole lot of sense actually.
Genre wise, easy 10.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say at first, but I'm like, let's stick with enjoyment first. But
yeah, no,
man, you get everywhere. You get all the politics. You get everything you want out of Thrones.
You get everything you want out of it. You get an assassination attempt. You get the politics. You get the family drama, the intrigue. It's all
dragons are getting a little bigger. You know, the little thing you mentioned of the fish in the air, throw up, burn, eat, all in one. That was just badass.
So cool. And Jon Snow beyond the wall. Fuck yeah. White Walker action a little bit. True.
Burn it. Yeah, dude's holding his own head beyond the wall to scare Samwell.
Some pretty Game of Thrones ass shit, man. Pretty strong.
Yeah, I think Reddit's in there. It's gonna be hard for that to dip. But okay. Now, critically is interesting because performance-wise, I feel like the main characters, they know what they're doing now. Like their performances are just strong, and they will be. So that's pretty easy, and they visually, like, they did well. There are a lot of very beautiful, like Davos waking up, Tywin, the light coming in on him through like I don't know,
shades,
like it was nice looking. Sansa looking out onto the ocean. Daenerys.
The image of Daenerys pulling up on Astapor, like the visual effects there are pretty. Like, I like that the visual effects aren't like uber realistic, and they add to like the fantasy ass type of feel that they've got going on in Astapor, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, because it's like we're not on Earth, you know. It's like this isn't like the clouds you see and the mountains in the background. It's like you never see that on Earth, like ever, like these clouds sort of thing. It's like you see like yellow, like glowing yellow, like super. Yeah, they're super fantasy like, and it's you see in the background is like it's darker, where Daenerys is coming from. Like she's kind of bringing the storm with her, like Stormborn. You know, it's like I don't know. It's so. It doesn't matter, but it just adds to the fantasy. You know, even if it's not on purpose, I don't care. It's like it makes you think of it like that.
Daenerys Stormborn.
But
love it.
I guess in storytelling wise, you know, they hit everywhere. I guess
pretty solid writing, some great dialogue. You know, there was never a dialogue choice that I went, that's bothersome. It wasn't. It was very good. All in all, I'm pretty fucking satisfied with this one. I wouldn't say it's
like, what do they do wrong? It wasn't. I'm not at a 10.
No, not by any means.
Not what I'm saying.
Around a 9 though. Like
that's where I'm floating. I don't think it can go much lower. 8.75 would be like the floor, but that's still on. It feels a little wrong. I don't know. I feel maybe just 9 is right, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, if we give it a 9, that averages the episode out to a 9.25, which puts it on the same level as, let's see, What is Dead May Never Die, episode 3 last season. And is that it? That looks like that's the only other 925.
All right.
Average wise. So, I mean, a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of 933 was the season premiere last season, actually, was the average. We gave it a 9 enjoyment, 10 genre, 9 critical. So a little bit more enjoyable last season, just barely. So basically the same as last season, which makes a lot of sense.
I think that makes sense, though.
We're coming off the death of Ned Stark and Daenerys, you know, like being the mother. Like we're coming off some huge stuff, like last, like a off season 1. So it makes sense that we're like enjoying that just a little bit more, you know. Maybe
I'm intrigued. So this was the 4th of 5 episodes Daniel Minahan directed. He directed season 1 episodes 6, 7, and 8. Which all did pretty fucking well, if I remember correctly. They all did all right. And his last episode is next week.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 got a 9 critically, 9.25, and a 9.5. So they just it kept getting that little bump better every time that he kept going. So
pretty good director. And his last episode for the whole show, direction wise, is next week in Dark Wings, Dark Words. I can't believe we're already we're already on season 3 in this fucking rewatch, man. It's kind of crazy.
Whoa. Man, I don't know. It felt like we just like started, like, I don't know. It felt slow at first whenever I was starting on season 1. Like every week I was kind of waiting. I was waiting to get like to the next Thrones episode, but now I'm kind of like, man, I'm kind of moving now. I don't know. Like,
we just keep going, dude.
I don't know. It's a nice pace. One episode a week. It's very nice just to get it like that and not binge it.
It almost like it's so strange because it doesn't even feel like I don't even feel like I'm actually rewatching it, even though I am. Like it's just kind of like I revisit an episode of Thrones a week. I wouldn't say I'm watching Game of Thrones, which is interesting.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. It is kind of like where in the timeline am I now? You know, like now I'm kind of just building the Thrones timeline more than anything. This rewatch, right? And then picking up on like, oh wow, this actor did a really good job here, like that I didn't notice before is really
it's a great way to appreciate every little story choice, every little storyline. I've really, really enjoyed it, and man, season 3 out of 8 has begun, which is pretty fucking cool. We're doing hitting the ground running with season 3. It was a great way to start the season. But with that, I think we will conclude this episode of Winter is Blooming. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, not Patreon pod. Patreon.com/PennyBloomPod. For $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money and I don't make any unless it's over there. That's just tons of content, book reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, all sorts of shit. Shazam! Fury of the Gods came out this weekend. I'll probably go see that, shamefully, and review it over there. That'll be on patreon.com/PennyBloomPod. If you would, head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. And if you were fucking with me and Joe, remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. It would be greatly appreciated. And we are still watching The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch on Wednesdays. We got season 3, episode 4 of The Mandalorian, marking the halfway point in season 3 this week. We are also coming close to finishing The Bad Batch. It will be season 2, episode 14 this week. It'll be a big Wednesday for us. On Friday, we are continuing our comic book journey through film. Last week was Batman Forever, and we were joined by our friend Michael Mielberger. That was a great episode. Strongly recommend you go listen to that. But this week, we are continuing the Joel Schumacher Batman flicks with Batman and Robin, where we will be joined by Claire DeGeneiro. Very wonderful, wonderful conversation we had with her, and it was such a great podcast, and I can't wait for you guys to hear that. That's a very fun one. So be sure to revisit that movie before Friday. Come back and listen, because it's fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll be back for Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 2 next week. We're just going to keep on pushing.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us, Episode 7 through 9 ought to be coming out sometime this week. Not for sure. Might be this week, might be next week. We'll see. But that's coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. And I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And I want to fight for the side that fights for the living.